Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another Chocobo Bites video, a channel dedicated to small bite-sized guides and discussions for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, just like this one. Today we're going to talk about Glenn's Crewkicker. This is a weapon that I have put quite a bit of resources in, and for good reason, so let's open it up here and show you how it evolves. So, this is a really high damage physical fire, single enemy weapon. At its base here, you're getting 400% physical fire damage to one enemy, 24 boost HP, which is a ton for boosting HP. Glenn himself is really sort of a HP powerhouse. He has a lot of stuff to equip. Even his armor that you get by playing through the story gives HP, his costume. But really the big thing here is when this thing is fully maxed out, and I know a lot of you won't fully max this, but I think it's just important to see kind of how this thing evolves. Even if you just get it to 1 white star, which is definitely feasible over time if you kind of target this on the banners, you're getting 24 fire potency, which is really big. Even if you throw this on as a sub-weapon on somebody, that's plus 12 to fire potency, which is a big deal when it comes to fighting bosses that are weak against fire. Now, there is something very comparable to this, which is also on Red 13. It's essentially the same weapon for Red, but the trade-off here is you get a lot of HP. And with Red, you kind of get a blend of magic attack and physical attack for attack up on his R abilities. And I also believe you get a bit more fire potency from Crewkicker from Glenn. But Glenn as a whole, I feel when it comes to the type of stuff that you would be equipping in his kit, Red is more of a hybrid support. So I feel like you would be stacking more stuff that would kind of lend to that role and not making him a straight-up physical attacker. So for that reason, I think getting the Crewkicker or leveling the Crewkicker instead of Red's Flame Collar is probably the better move because you're going to be stacking a ton of attack on Glenn to begin with. Now, let me just show you one alternative to the Crewkicker, which has just kind of recently come into my possession. And that is the Inferno Grave. We can get into this a little bit in a future video, but I will just show you an alternative where you do sacrifice a lot of magical fire damage to a single enemy. The trade-off being that you gain a lot of ice resistance, so obviously this would be nice against somebody like Shiva. But you're probably asking, okay, knowing all of this, should I level the Crewkicker? And I would say if you're not using Red in your party, or any other character that would deal, AoE fire damage especially, I think you definitely do, because there's not a lot of options for single target fire damage. Just looking at a list here real quick, we got Barrett that has one that deals damage to all enemies. Red obviously does a single enemy. Glenn is a single enemy. Zack is AoE all enemies. He has a single enemy Ifrit sword, but once again the trade-off is you lose a lot of damage. So if you're not using Red in your team, I think this is one of the best fire weapons that you could possibly pick up and level up, because you get a ton of attack. HP is never a bad thing in this game for an R ability. I'd argue it may even be the best R ability in the game, especially for how high you can stack it, and HP just leads to survivability. And fire potency is never a bad thing either. So this is another reason for you all to start using Glenn. He is slowly starting to work his way into my teams, and in some instances replace, my Cloud sometimes, or my Aerith or my Red. I kind of interchange him in and out. So if you pick this up, it can be really good for both a support weapon for other characters and to main this on Glenn and just rip through anything that is weak to fire. Hint, hint, the Shiva fight. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to subscribe for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis short guide content like this one in the future, and thank you for watching.